Hello guys, welcome back. In this video we'll look at working with time. So we'll be using the time module. Like you can see here, I've imported time. I'm just printing time at the moment. This prints the number of seconds. So this function creates an instance of the current time. The time module is closely related to date time and calendar module, so if you need more information you can have a read about them. Well, there's a little bit of history of how time works in programming languages. However, they pick a certain date to be the first day, and then it calculates time as the number of seconds from then. So the point at which the time starts in a programming language is called epoch, and for Unix-based systems it's 1st of January 1970 is the start of time. When we call this function, it returns the number of seconds from then. And then there's other problems with Y2K issues, but we won't be covering that at the moment because it's very unlikely that you will encounter those issues. As long as you understand how Python works with time, that's good enough. In the hour format, it returns using this function, ASC time. So I'm declaring another variable, time1, and calling it using this function, so it captures a new time, and then I'm printing the value. So there's another function called local time, which returns it in a tuple format. We'll have a look at what that looks like. And I'm creating ASC time and printing it in uppercase. Local time, we'll have a look when it prints how it looks, each one of these time formats. I have a simple example here. I'm just creating a time called login time. I'm just printing 3 types of what time looks like when you use the time function, what it looks like when you use the local time function, and what it looks like when you use the ASC time function. We'll have a look at what types of, like some of them are strings, some of them are struct time type of objects. So we'll have a closer look when we get to that point. I'm just printing here that user logged in. Then time has a sleep function which sort of adds delay to your function execution or program execution, and I just say I'll create a new time, call it using the time function, and I'm creating 2 other variables, message time LOC, which uses the local time function, and ASC, which uses the ASC time function. And then I'm sleeping for 7 more seconds after messaging the time messaged, and then I'm creating another set of 3 variables and printing the log out time is. So you can see I'm printing login time using ASC, message time using ASC, and logout time using ASC. So if we run this function at the moment, so time now returns in Unix format with the number of seconds elapsed since 1st of January 1970. ASC time now is printed in this format, like it prints day, then the date, up to seconds, and then the year. Time1 value, again, this is declared using the time function, and local time now is basically, so if we go back up, let me show you what that is. Local time now. So when you use local time to print, it prints in this format, time.struct_time. That's the type, that's the data type, and it prints in tm year. It prints as a, this is what I was talking about when I said it prints as a tuple. This can't be changed, but you can grab using 0, you can grab this part of the function. Using 1, you can grab the month, you can grab the day. If you pass this to a dictionary using the dict function, it will create a dictionary object with keys as tm underscore and then whatever value you have here, and then the integer as the value, so you can use it in your program. Now I'm printing ASC time in uppercase, which is that one. This is what I was talking about, the other one. So if I print the type of login time, that's a float, that's just a integer with decimal, and a local time, which is basically this long tuple, is tuple. Time struct time is basically, that's a class, that's the custom class for that tuple style display. And then we have ASC time, which is a string, which has, you know, this sort of display. Now, I don't know if you noticed, we're sleeping, we're using the sleep function, so it'll just run it again. So it should print user logged in, 2 seconds later, message time, and then a few seconds later, 7 seconds later, I think it prints. So basically this is printing exact snapshots, but if you want to, or timestamps, if you want to use you know, any other formats, you can feel free. You can calculate the duration by printing or by capturing the float time, like the time function, and then subtracting the current time from the previous. So this is one simple example on how to sleep. Now I've got a couple of others. This is the first one. Here I'm just grabbing input from a user. Let me collapse that. So I'm grabbing input from the user. We did this in the past. We did multiplication tables. So here we're doing multiplication tables again, but we're printing one table every 3 seconds. I'm not gonna go over the whole thing because this video is getting long, so I'll just print this. So pick a number. If I say 10, it prints one table every 3 seconds. That's the one table. You can see the flashes. 3 flashes later, it prints another table. Keeps going. So this is one example, but let's say you don't want it to print at a time, or at a specific time. You want to print at random. You could use the math.flow and math.random times some number to print it at random times. So that's printed already, so that's good. Now if I go to the last example, instead of printing exactly after a few seconds or printing at random second, I'm going to allow the user control to print it when he presses the enter key. So when he wants to, and you could do this with anything. I'm doing it multiplication tables, but you could do this with anything. You could, a user in an application is looking at a report or part of the report in one page, and then you want to load the next 10 items that will fill up the next page, but you want to wait for the user to do something, right? Press any key. So let's run this fellow here, and I'm going to say again 10 tables, and I'm going to press enter every time I need a new table, right? If I don't press any key, it just sits there. We're just going to do this quickly and get to 10 tables, and all done. That's another example of how you can use time function to control the flow of the execution of a program.
If you like this video, please share with your friends. Comment if you would like to start a conversation. Come on, don't be shy. And hit the subscribe button now.